Hope I'm coming through nice and clear and everyone can hear me all right. But let's just put on some chill out music for a minute. Let me just turn that up a little bit. That's better. There we go. So play that for a little bit. We'll wait for some more people to turn up. I know there's a couple of spaces going on at the moment, so people might be spread a bit thin, but it's all good. A chance to get my talking points together. Hey, Robbie's Matrix. How are you, mate? Thanks for dropping in. Hope all's good with you, mate. So I saw you streaming some Fallout content a little while back. So it's very cool to see. I do enjoy a little bit of Fallout from time to time. So hopefully it'll come through nice and clear. If I'm not, please let me know so I can do something about it. Just having a bit of chill out time. We'll wait for some more people to turn up. Hey, Doctor. How are you, mate? Thanks for dropping in. So let me know if I'm coming through nice and clear so I can do something about my audio if it decides to play up again, because it decides to do that from time to time. Oh, I see some 100% from Robbie, so that's good. That's promising. So I just playing a bit of chill out music so we wait for some more people to turn up. Got a few things going on in the space that we can talk about. Unfortunately, I missed the weekend's episode because I was caught up with life and in real life family commitments. So I do apologize for that, ladies and gentlemen. But I'm back. I'm here. It's Wednesday. Well, it's Wednesday for you. It's Thursday morning for me. And yeah, we just chill for a bit longer and wait for some more people to turn up, and we'll get into it. Give me a chance to go over my talking points. I've got to update them a little bit. Got a few things going on the VeVe side. Got a few things going on the crypto side. A few things going on all over the place. Hey, Key Collect 98. Yeah, let me bring you up. Oh, someone wants to talk to me. Tell you what, how about we turn this off before we get Key Collector up to the stage? Let me let's get into it. All right. G'day, everybody. Osman Collect 63 here, and we're back again. We're back with VeVe Wednesdays, but this time we're up to episode 60. 60, can you believe it? 60, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, what a number. But it's not just me. No, sirree. I've got a Key Collector 98 up to the stage. Say, Key Collector Kenobi, how are you, sir?
Hey, what's up, baby?
How are you, mate? All good?
Shit, all good, baby. Just chilling, man. Yeah, nah, it's gonna be pretty. I think it might be pretty low right now as far as like people coming in, bro. Because there's some. I guess you got no, what the fuck is what's his name?
We've got Impact's has got a space going on at the moment, so I know there's a few people over there.
Yeah.
Who's, not...
Yeah, with some dude. I forget his name though. Damn, dude.
Danny Boy.
Danny Boy. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there you go.
That's good.
Yeah, him, man.
Yeah, so, I think Amelia's got a space going as well. But that's cool. So there's let's see, we got you, we got Double Quills in the house as well. We got Doctor listening in the background as well. So that's enough people.
Hey, did you get any? Did you get any comments on the app or IRL?
Let's have a look. So the last things I bought on I haven't bought anything this week, but I am planning on getting the last What If Aliens comic. But last week I got Predator Last Hunt number 4 just to finish off the run. I got Helverine number 1, which I haven't had a chance to read yet, but apparently I've been told it's really good. I got Blood Hunt number 2 and Spider Gwang the Ghost Spider number 1. What about you, mate?
I haven't been to my LCS this week. I was with my girl and her and the kiddos at Disneyland this week. Yeah, so we just got back yesterday, but just chilled out over there for a few days and had a blast, man. I went on a lot of rides that I had never been on, and then see the little ones having fun, and it was good, man. I mean, all in all, I'll say it was like a pretty fun experience.
No, excellent.
Disneyland's just full of. Forgive me for
There you
saying
go.
this. They're just full of lazy people. Like
Okay.
motherfuckers that don't gotta be in the carts. You know what I'm saying? Those electric carts. They use they use it right, and then when they get to the front of the line, they're able to walk and jump and do all this stuff. I'm like, bro, what you need a cart
Exactly.
for?
Kind of defeats the purpose of the card.
Yeah, bro. And then you know what I'm saying, you see people eating popcorn and turkey legs, and I had a turkey leg myself, but I'm just saying, like, they're just eating nonstop. But then they're also asking their friend, "How many steps did you take?" Well, it don't matter how many steps you took. You ruined it.
to tell you what, funny enough, I had the exact same argument with my missus, because my missus will be like, "Oh, I walked like X amount of miles today or something like that, or I did this, I did that." I said, "Okay, so how many calories have you burnt?" Oh, I don't know. It's like, well, you walked X amount of miles. Like that basically equates to you burnt like let's say 100 calories or whatever. That more or less equates to like a Snickers bar.
Yeah. No, I learned some fun facts about Disneyland too, like because the little ones, right? So if you got little ones and and they go up to like a character and hug them, like the character won't break the hug. And it was really crazy to see, like, because my girl brought it up to me, and I'm like, what? I never, you don't realize it, but the characters will never break the hug until the kid breaks the hug. And I was like, there's some psychological background to
Okay.
that. So it almost makes like you don't. I guess it's more meaningful to the kid when they let go, something like that. So yeah, there's a couple other fun things I learned about Disneyland, but that was cool. And then got to see the parade and people. That was, I think that was fun. And then got to see Moana. Yeah, I got to see Moana.
Nice. That's some water. You ever seen Maui as well? Was Maui there?
Maui was there. My girl
Excellent.
said I made an air baby with Moana. Nah, man, just chilling there, bro. Nah, I'm excited, man. My show is going to be next Friday.
Yes, I was going to bring that up.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be next Friday, G. So that's coming up. I just been anticipating it, but I wanted to do this trip. You know what I'm saying? And so that I don't know, man. It's crazy. Disneyland and that, bro. I'm telling you right now, the turkey legs are not as big as they used to be, bro. I'm be real with you. Like you get a turkey leg from Disneyland, it'd be like the Flintstones, like
the size like a tomahawk steak or something like that.
Hey, bro. And now they downsized it too, bro. And I'm like, man, y'all hella weak for this. I can't believe y'all did this, man.
Yeah,
But
and they probably still charge you the same for it.
yeah, 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 bro. I mean, why not? Got to meet Iron Man.
Oh, nice.
Got to meet Ray. Got to meet Chewbacca. Uh, while I was on a ride, one of the boys got to meet R2D2.
Okay.
Yeah, it was pretty dope, man. I mean, it was fun, man, and it just I'm even more excited about the movies, I suppose. You know what I'm saying? Deadpool, Wolverine, just seeing all of that, all those characters over there, man. Spider-Man, went on the Spider-Man ride for the first time.
Oh yeah, how was it?
Oh, it was fun, man. That's a workout, bro. Like, you're not supposed to work out when you go to Disneyland, bro, but they got you working out on that ride. Your arms are gonna feel like 1,000 pounds when you get off of it.
Yeah. Well, maybe it's like strategic. Maybe that they want you to work hard, so then you'll go over to like the food shops and buy the turkey legs and stuff like that. Maybe.
Yeah. Speaking of that, what was another rule of theirs that you told me that I was like oh yeah, you can't go in dressed as a character, bro. Like that's another fun fact about Disney.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, if you go into their parks like as an adult, you can't, like, let's say you go dressed up like Peter
Iron Man,
Pan.
for example.
Yeah, or even Iron Man, yeah, like fully
Yeah.
look, not, you can't do that. I was like, what? Bro, like my girl was telling me all the fun facts, and I'm like, that's hella. I mean, they're so airtight, bro, to the point where like that's why their business model will always be successful. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm. I wonder why
Like,
that is. Like, I suppose I just don't want other people, like, taking away, like, the opportunity of, like, people, like, snapping photos with, like, their people on, like,
no,
I'm
bro,
not sure.
it's all about picture money.
Picture money, right?
They don't want to. They probably don't want to be held liable.
Oh, yeah, and they don't want to be held liable. I mean, there's liabilities too. You know what I'm saying? But
So
Yeah.
go go the missus hiding there in the background. Hi, how's it
got my back, man.
going?
Got my back, bro. But no, man, it was fun though, dude. It was chill. What else, man? I mean, Disneyland's just full, like, and I mean, we probably did about 6 to 7 hours per day. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Yeah.
How long were you there for?
We were there for what, 3.5 days? Yeah, about 3.5 days.
Nice. And did you manage to see and do everything that you wanted to do, or was there, like, still more to do?
Oh, bro, we met the so there's rides over there, the Matador, right? Matterhorn and Space Mountain
Ah, nice.
and stuff like that, right? Guess what, dude? So I was on the Cars ride, right? We
Right.
all ride, as you know what I'm saying, but it was like two per car, right? And
Yep.
I'm looking at this old dude, right? And this old dude is just dancing, bro. Like he was in
Okay.
his, he looked like, I mean, honestly, bro, he was in his 90s, bro. And so he's dancing. I'm like, oh my God, that's just, like I was so happy for him, to see his happiness, to see his joy, right? And
Yep.
so I go up to him after the ride is done. And I'm like, hey man, you just, I'm saying, you totally made my day, man. Like seeing your happiness. And some guy behind me said, do you know who that is?
And
And
you're
I'm like,
like, no.
nah, I don't know. Of course I don't know who it is. I'm just, I'm thanking him, because, his energy was just, so beautiful, right? Bro, it turned out that was the creator of, like, just those two rides alone. Those two rides alone, he created like 5 or 6 rides at Disneyland, bro. But just those two rides alone, are some of the biggest rides at Disneyland, right? And then he's so I was speaking to the creator, bro. Got some pictures with him and everything, right? He was like, go on my Instagram. So I go on his
No.
Instagram, bro, and I'm like, he's like a little kid, bro. He's always all, and he was all, it's all in the head, man. Because he was like, I'm 93 years old, but it's all, I'm young. I'm young at heart.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and he was like, how many followers do I have, bro? This dude had like 104,000 followers, bro.
Wow. So this is like that one.
Yeah, totally, bro. I mean, he's a legend, bro. Like literally a legend. What's his name again?
I don't remember.
Something like that, bro. Like Bob Gurr, something like that. But
Oh, okay.
yeah, dude. Hold on, let me see. Let me see my Instagram real
So
quick.
yeah, check Instagram, Google it. So we need to know the name of this guy, but it goes to show you, like, it doesn't matter if, like, you're 93, like 23, even 13. Like, it's all about, like, how you feel at the end of the day, isn't it?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, dude, he was dancing, bro. Like he was having a good time. And I was just, I love when I see like old people still living their best life, bro.
Mm. No, that's great. That's good. It's really, really good to hear.
Yeah, his name's yeah, Bob Gurr. He's a designer, legendary Disney Imagineer. That's what it says. 92 years of magic. Designed hundreds of mechanical attractions for Disney, Universal, the Olympics, and more. Golly, bro. And
Wow.
literally, this is like here. Let me see if I can copy his thing.
Yeah, I'm just on the googling him now. So it's Bob Gurr. So
Yeah.
is it G-E-R Gurr?
Yeah, Gurr.
G-U-R Bob Gurr. Oh yeah, look at this. Is an American amusement ride designer and Imagineer. Most famous work was for Walt Disney. Yeah, Disney Park One. Look at that, cool.
Yeah, bro.
I can tell just from his pictures. He sounds like he looks like a fun guy. He's got
It's so fun, bro. Like seriously, so yeah, we all got pictures with him, and it was cool, man. Like, but that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why it's always cool to, like, I'm saying like go up to people because when the dude said, "Do you know who he is?" I'm like, nah. Like,
you think like should I like do I like bow curtsy? Should I shake his hand? What should I do?
Yeah, because I mean, when somebody says that, that means that those people usually have security around them. Like this.
Oh yeah. is it like some like like what's it Secret Service like hiding somewhere like someone with a hand up to their ear like ready to like pounce on me?
Yeah. Hey, and I was like, let's take a picture, and we had him in the middle, right? And what did he say to you, honey?
The women are supposed to be the meat of
Oh, yeah. He said the women are supposed to be the meat of the sandwich, and so he put her in the middle. I'm like, go ahead, G, go ahead.
Nice one.
Yeah. So whenever you take a picture, you want to make a joke, and there's like, two dudes and a woman, be like, oh yeah, the woman's always supposed to be the meat of the sandwich. That means she stands in the middle.
That's it. I look at even at 93, he's still got a good sense of humor on him as well. Like that's
Come on. Yeah, bro. On the Cars ride, like he's dancing, bro. And it's the Cars ride where like all the cars are moving, in sequence, and it's like they're dancing, to the music, and so he's dancing too. It was pretty dope, dude. But no, man. As far as comics go, man, I'm just anything Deadpool, Wolverine, X-Men, just anything that's hot right now. Look for ratios and whatnot. That's what I've been doing, bro. Chilling, man.
Nah, good. So you're all ready for the Whatnot show? So you got everything together, everything set, or is there still more to do?
There's still more to do. So it'll be set up by this Friday. I'll post it on Whatnot, and then I'll post it on Twitter. I'll hold a space. But yeah, man, I don't know, man. I mean, Hulk 181. Ooh.
What's that, ladies and gentlemen? What have you found?
Hulk 181. CGC 7.5. I think anybody that goes for it, man, I just wish them the best of luck, man, because like I said, it's a huge buyer's giveaway. It's a huge book, First appearance Wolverine. Come on, bro.
I know you can't argue with that. I mean, look, I did a little bit of googling as well on eBay, and yeah, it's definitely a serious book, ladies and gentlemen, and definitely you'll be very happy if you're the one lucky enough to snag it.
Yeah, and so I have pretty much like all the mystery bags ready to go, and it's just gonna be awesome, bro. So it's gonna be, I know it's gonna be great, bro. That's all I can say. And for me personally, that's not the only buyers giveaway. There's gonna be 2 other buyers giveaways, but other than that, bro, just chilling, man. And I'm saying, came to support G. I know it's busy out there, and in spaces right now. But look, man, you've been rocking this every week for 60 weeks now, bro. Like, come on now, dude. Like, over a year. I gotta show love to the, Yeah, I always say consistency is key, bro. So even if there was, a space that, is cracking, that's one day or whatever. But I want to show love to, those that are consistent. And so I appreciate you. Appreciate your space as always, G.
No, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yeah, so I just try and stay as consistent as I possibly can, though I do apologize. Like last weekend, I wasn't able to make the weekend show just because I got caught up with family commitments because I had a family member who was celebrating their 40th wedding anniversary, and unfortunately, I got back late, so I was like, oh, I have to cancel the space because life. But you get that. But yeah, like I said, I try to be as consistent as I can and try to provide these spaces for everybody because for some funny reason, everyone just keeps coming back and keeps enjoying them. So I'll keep hosting for as long as I can. But here's a character we haven't had in the space for a while, or someone I haven't spoken to for a while. Dino, how are you, mate? It's been a while.
What's up, bro?
How you been?
I'm just chilling, bro. I'm in Twitter Spaces tonight. I've been in all the spaces, so I came and said hi.
No, it was a pleasure to have you, mate. So, like I said, it's been a while since we spoke. But what you been doing? Say how we've been collecting. What's been happening in your world?
Yeah, like collecting Pokemon cards and still buying and selling NFTs, but probably have a lot more Pokemon now than I've been really enjoying that. Actually, a lot. Even doing like Pokemon content, it's been a freaking blast from the past. It's been a good time. But mostly crypto, mostly crypto. The Pokemon and NFTs is kind of like all the side stuff. It's just more fun. Crypto's not really fun. Like it's not really fun to like buy token A and just hold it, But it makes more money. Hopefully, it's going to make more money. But Pokemon's been a blast.
Nice. So just buying like just physical cards or like NFTs, or how's the Pokemon scene working? So I haven't had much to do with Pokemon like for ages.
So I'm a chase card collector. So like basically and seller and buyer. Right now I'm just accumulating a lot. I was in Hero for a long time, and so I traded a lot of people. People that are in other TCGs are usually in all the TCGs, right? So I ended up trading for a bunch of Pokemon in Hero for selling purposes, and then I just started liking it. I started liking the art again. And then I just started learning about how the whole like ecosystem works. So I generally I guess low key investing in it. Obviously there's risk, but I'm trying to learn about how people do it with Pokemon. So basically my strategy right now is I only collect chase cards. So like basically the top 1 to 3 hits of every set. So like the most recent set is called Twilight Masquerade. I think it's complete hot garbage, but so I probably won't be buying those hits for at least a year or so, maybe unless the prices get good. And then so I try to get all the hits that I like that are good in PSA 10s. So the best is to get a 10. Pretty much if it's a 9, it's like a raw. So I try to get PSA 10s of chase cards of sets. So I just put up some displays in my house of them, and I've been going to like different trade nights. Like you can like with cards, people go trade nights. I don't know if you've ever done one. Like and people all come together. Yeah, just like when you're a kid, they all come together and we all trade Pokemon cards with each other. Like I did like 4 trades at a trade night the other day. I'm going to another show here in a little bit. I'm gonna try to sell a few One Piece cards that I have, because I kind of want to narrow down into maybe one niche. Like I have like some Marvel stuff. I have DC. I have Pokemon, but I kind of want to narrow down just to Pokemon. It's just easier to manage.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing. Other people have different strategies. But yeah.
Yeah, cool. I mean, like it all comes back to basically like you collect what you love. But yeah, it's kind of like with a key collector with Kenobi, how you sort of like target more like the variant and the ratio covers, yeah.
Oh, Kenobi, I love that guy. How you doing, bro?
Is he still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm still here. Say it again.
Yeah, no, we just saying how Dino basically just targets like 9 and 10 grade cards, whereas you sort of like kind of target and specialize the ratio covers and like the more like higher end stuff.
Yeah, no, I loved what I heard from Dino. Just like, dude, we're maturing as collectors, bro. Like,
yeah, we are, bro.
Right now, like, we were going for a bunch of everything, right, Dino? And
yeah, we were going for hot garbage before, bro. Now we're having
for reals, dude. So to hear like his chase is like my ratios, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? Like, so.
Yeah, your collection's insane, bro. Don't you have some really high end Miles and Gwen stuff? Because you got a 9.8 Ultimate Fallout and like stuff like that.
Yeah, no, I got a pretty sick collection now, bro. But like I said, it goes without saying that I mean, I know you paid your tuition, I paid mine, and no, now that like, it's almost like, why would you buy 10 pairs of Nikes, knowing that all of that added up could equal the most rare one? You know what I'm saying?
No, I 100% agree. And it's interesting. It's almost like we learned some of these lessons from some of the NFT markets too, because it's like the cream rises to the top, and you would think a PSA 9 is like cards, right? You have like 9 6s, right? You would think a PSA 9, that should be a little bit less than a 10. No, sometimes it's twice as less. Sometimes it's 5 times less than a 10. And the cream rises to the top. Like literally everyone only wants PSA 10s. Like you have a PSA 10, or you might as well just have a raw card. Like,
no, yeah. And, also like, fuck, dude, just, I don't even know what I was about to say, bro. Like, I've been high all day today, bro. I'm on vacation. But no, I'm totally.
We don't judge.
No,
he's like, I'm on vacation.
I'm totally enjoying collecting, and No, I love it, man. I love the you know, and I'll be real with you. Golly, I just noticed him in the space. One person that's helped me grow tremendously in the comic hobby is Jahn. And also shout out Jahn, you know what I'm saying, hitting that 600 incentive piece from Momoko, you know what I'm saying? That was beautiful, boy. For reals, G.
Oh,
Congratulations.
Nice.
But no, like, look, man.
That's for him.
Look, man, there's a lot of good collectors, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, as far as like, you know, grading your books, it's like people, like, even when the CGC scandal went down and everything like that, like I never gave up. Like, it didn't stop me from getting books graded. I think that's even cards like what Dino has. I think that's the one thing where people can say, like, it can either make a book a regular book or make a book a rare book. And so grading is very, very important. And I don't think I there's no real collector out there that will say like grading's bad. Don't get your books graded. You know, or don't get your cards graded. It's the only thing. It brings so much more. It brings significance to what you have. It's almost like a movable freaking time capsule. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's up to you what you want to do with it. But it's forever, you know, locked in time once you can encapsulate it. So I think there's just a beauty to collecting, bro, and I truly enjoy it. It's a game. I can't afford everything, and so
that's a problem right there.
That is a big problem. I agree with that as well. Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? Like, you know, you've only got so much capital to deploy, like, yeah, but there's just like so much stuff that you want.
Bro, I'm hoping after this bull run, this is my hope. Like, ideally, like, I should have way more loose capital, and I'll be able to buy way more, like, way more stuff. Like, right now, I'm kind of limited, which sucks because I like really am getting into it, and I'm like, oh my god, I want to buy this right now. Like, this is a good buy, and I'm like, okay, I gotta wait till after the bull run. Like, you know, I need that money.
Yeah, same. I'm exactly the same. Like, you know, I'm hoping this so-called bull run. Actually, tell you what, this is probably a good time to do this.
We interrupt this program to bring you an important announcement.
Nothing ever said on this channel or this show or anything that comes out of my mouth is classed as financial advice. So do what you want with your own capital, invest in what you want, collect what you want, whether that be Pokemon, whether that be Marvel, DC, whether it be on digital platform, whether that be VeVe, Cryptoys, Candy, say whatever you in physical, whatever you're into. So as long as you're being responsible with your own cash, and anything said on this channel is just purely for entertainment purposes only. And just the only thing I will highly advise is probably 2 to 3 things in life. One is enjoy what you collect and collect with others. Number 2 is if you haven't seen X-Men 97, do so because it is amazing. And number 3 is buy yourself an air fryer because it will change your life. Now back to the show.
I get behind that statement and I claim it as my own.
Excellent. Always helpful just to stick that out there just in case someone decides to do something silly. But yeah, back to what I was saying there. But yeah, that's my hope as well. Like, you know, when the supposed bull run comes, and it probably will come. It's just a question of when. Is what sort of
bro? We're in one right now, bro. We're in it.
You reckon we're here? Or
yeah, we're in it. We're in it, bro. I mean, Bitcoin was 15K. It's 70K right now. Like, we're in it, bro.
Yeah, that's true. I suppose, like, you know, in comparison like that, like, yeah, we're definitely in it.
Yeah, I think we're in the middle of it. Like, you know what I mean? It's almost like the Office quote. It's like, I wish I knew it was the good old days before the good old days were over. Like, you know, it's like, no, we're in it. I think, at least my opinion, not financial advice, right? It's a recorded, I don't, you know.
Yeah, that's right. I've already done my disclaimer. So anything from here on in, like, you know, is on everyone else. But we got DoktaStrange up to the stage. Doctor, how are you today?
I'm good. What's going on, everybody? Just checking.
Bro, what's up?
Yeah, we're just chilling, mate.
That's what's up.
So we're just chilling, talking key collectors' experiences at Disney. We're talking Pokemon. Then yeah, we're just having a nice, chill conversation.
Yeah, man, I've been enjoying it, man. I wanted to hop on earlier. Just in the studio, got a little loud in here, so everybody went to shoot a video on the roof. So I said, let me take advantage real quick. Hop in, say stuff.
Are you working on some new material?
Oh yeah, I'm always working. Yeah, it's ongoing.
Bro, I need to get a song from you, bro. I need to see your rates, dude. Your songs that you've made for other creators are fire. They're so good.
I would love to do it, man.
I second that.
Let's do it. DM me, man, real quick.
I'll send you a DM, bro. I mean, maybe I'm too poor, but you're awesome, dude. But who knows? Maybe not. I don't know.
I got you the special Dino package. You know, it's a special place in my heart for you, Dino.
Bro, you're a G, bro. We did our first interview together, freaking 3 years ago or two and a half? I don't remember.
Yeah. Crazy, right?
And full circle. Now we're both like in Cryptoys, and we all do VeVe content, we do Cryptoys content, we do them all, right? We do everything. So
exactly. All right, you know what? I'm trying to do a unboxing too one of these days. I'm trying to hop on and do a quick live stream, but I only got like 2 cubes to open, so I would be on like 5 minutes. So I'm trying to grab a couple other people that might have 1 or 2.
Like a flash up.
Yeah, so I don't know.
Yeah, I might be down, bro. I don't have any cubes right now. But dude, you know what's freaking sick? We could do a freaking giveaway now too. We could send someone a comment, like, just for promoting the stream.
That's right.
Very true.
Right.
That's
See, we got so me and Dino, forget the DMs popping. Don't want to derail the show.
Bro, did you see my tweet the other day? I did a giveaway, a gift on my channel. Like Cryptoys let me gift a cube to somebody.
Right.
Bro, it wasn't my cube. It was it was I didn't pay for it. It was from them, right? So I wasn't like sad for myself, like, oh, Dino, you gave up your dude. He pulled an Ultra Grail.
Oh,
I was like,
wow.
Damn, that's crazy.
It's like, I know. So that was like,
bro, don't miss a live stream. I guess DoktaStrange is next. Don't miss he's gonna give away Ultra Grails.
Facts. You already know how my affiliate link goes. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, you got to slide into that affiliate. I need to slide into that link right now. Let's go.
That's actually just before I forget, like just on the way of do not miss is well, we've still got Key Collecting 98 with this is don't miss his coming Whatnot show, because I believe that is coming this Friday. If I got that right. Oh, you still with us? Still with us,
bro? His shows are heat too. He drops so much fire. Like, I don't even know how he drops so much fire. Like and value.
Oh man, I know. I'm exactly the same. Like I do admit I've only ever been in one of his Whatnot shows once, or actually any Whatnot show once. But yeah, like I've always said on previous streams, like if you jump in there, it's not just a show; it's an experience. It just like sort of grabs you and grips you, and just his energy is just like the way he just just pumps it, just brings the fire. So it's amazing. So I always like to try and shout out Key Collectors spaces and Whatnot shows when and where I can, because you will not leave that show disappointed.
Let's go.
It's going down, baby.
Yes, sir. So I got that right. Yeah. So it's this Friday. I believe that is the 7th.
I just want to let you guys know, Darren already said if she wins this book, she's gonna sell it. So
hey, tell Darian hi for me. Hi, Darian.
Yeah. Tell her if she wants to. She's more than welcome to come up and speak.
Oh, she's right here.
Yeah. How are you, Darren?
We all say hi.
Yeah. Hello.
What's up, Doctor?
What up? What's going on?
Yeah, man, chilling, bro.
So,
I gotta bounce, guys, but I tell Darian hi. Hi, everybody.
All right. For sure, bro.
Yeah, no worries, mate. Thanks for dropping in. Appreciate you taking the time to drop in, Dino. So have a good one, mate, and hopefully you can drop back again when you can soon.
Hey, man, I had some.
Hi, Darian. Bye, Darian.
Bye-bye. I had some really hot habanero, and my tongue is numb. Give me 5 minutes, bro. I'll be right back.
Yeah, no worries, mate. Guys, you having a good time on your vacation? Have some well-deserved chill time. So let me see what else is on my talking points here. So Doctor, have you been picking up anything in the market, say VeVe wise, comic wise? So what's been happening in your world, or you just been grinding?
Off the top of my head, no idea. As I'm stalling and opening up the VeVe app, it might be under maintenance right now, right? So I don't know. But oh yeah. I posted on my feed, on my little bit of feed, what I picked up. I grabbed Ghost Spider and a Spider-Man symbiote suit.
Oh, nice. Very good pickup. So congratulations to you, sir. I will give you one of these. Awesome. And
I grabbed just those silver and pink. You know, little Jizzo black pink action.
Oh yes, yeah. So that is on my list of talking points. Is like the fallout or the aftermath of the Blackpink drop. But it's just on the subject of Blackpink. We got Jahn up at the stage. So Jahn, how are you, mate?
I did smell and sense the aura and the presence of K-pop about to be discussed. So how you doing, Osman?
Good, mate.
Dr. T. And Darian in the background too. So hey, everyone, how y'all doing? Let me tell you, I mean, I know that people have been dumping on that particular collection, but I've been posting more than my lion's share of showing people I actually do buy that stuff and I actually use that stuff. So don't be buy shaming me because like, come on, what am I not gonna go buy Blackpink? So yeah, I
bro,
just
you're the one person that will never get shamed, bro. Like you've been freaking K-pop manga since day one, bro.
Yeah,
people understand, right? Like people understand it's not a new religion. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like, oh, he's Johnny Come Lately looking for the flip. Like that's not why I get these things, right? And so like the time that you have to look at me and go, oh, there's something going on, is if I start moving differently, right? And they're like, okay, why is he moving? But when you see me buying K-pop and Blackpink, you're like, oh, okay, he's just doing what he always does. So it's fine. And for some reason, VeVe's rewarding him for like, staying in his wheelhouse, right? So I'm definitely in my wheelhouse. I'm very happy with the stuff I got over there. Very happy I chose pink, as so I got the pink heart instead of the black heart. So I really like how that looks. So I put that in front of the Freedom Tower. I had that as my pin post today.
nice.
So I have to say, I have kept pretty positive about it. Honestly, even the gold statues, to me, if they're hovering around like 80 to 100, like, I mean, that seems all right by me. Like, and by month 8, if it drops down to like $40, it doesn't even matter. Like the whole point is, like right now, I think where the app is, the drop did as best as it could have done for what it was. You know what I mean? I don't think it was in any way something like, okay, we dropped it and oh my god, mass miscalculation, K-pop sucks, coming for. I don't think it's like that. I think it's a little bit due to, not a little bit, a lot to do with several different factors having to do with how people want to buy and collect and trade and keep when it comes to Web3 collectibles versus other things, right? We talked about like the scarcity is king, and then how the mechanisms affect that, like pricing point and edition size matters as well. And like we can get into the minutia of it, but at the end of the day, when the dust settles, am I happy that VeVe put out K-pop, or am I not happy? Of course I'm happy, right? So I have to stay generally positive about it, although of course they could have done some stuff better. But then this is their first rollout of it, and I hope they'll improve. So that's the K-pop slant. That's my take on it. But I actually came up here to answer the question you asked, Doctor, which is, what have you been doing lately in the collecting rap, right?
Yeah, what have you been up to? Let's hear it.
Oh, here's the update. It's wide ranging update, right? And they really don't seem connected to each other. But I'll start out with this one that it came in the mail today, and it's already pinned up as my pinned post, right, for my profile, because like I think 2 years ago, Peach Momoko, like randomly, and I found out not randomly because Adi Granov did it, and then she's best friends with Adi, so that makes sense how this might happen. She did a concert poster for Tool.
Oh, yeah. I'm looking at it now.
Yeah, it's a 1 day, 1 shot concert that she did an amazing mandala poster for Tool, that prog rock band, in Denver, Colorado, a 1-shot deal, like a 1 thing. 2 years later, and I thought it was a 1-shot, she did it again, and this time, and that's the one in the profile. It it was of a one night only thing that Tool did in freaking Amsterdam of all places. So that's the second piece of art she ever did for the band Tool. I got it on a T-shirt, and then I just love it so much. And actually, Keith probably recognizes the motif because there's a flower that woman is kind of standing behind. And it's a chrysanthemum, right? And so that chrysanthemum is very evocative of like her kind of like ethos, because it evokes a lot of like kind of funeral kind of like thinking and other kind. You'll see it in a Venom comic. You'll see it in the Death of Spider-Man that she did for Avengers Twilight. You'll see that particular flower show up a lot in her work. And so I'm like, wow, I have to find a way to get this. So I got the T-shirt, and I literally put it in a frame and on the wall because I like it so much, right? So there is an official poster, but I actually I gravitate towards concert tees. I'm framing this thing. It's actually laying on top of my Frank Kozik tee. That's how much I love this tee. So there you go. So that's number one. The number two thing that I got is, now let's talk comic books, right?
Yes.
So part one, part two. Part one is what Key alluded to, which was today there was, and I don't know if they still have it. They might still have it. The Comic Mint, which tends to give really, really awesome, very limited edition runs of things everyone wants, right? You'll always see them having con editions, for instance, at like Comic Cons, right? So the Comic Mint, just totally unannounced today. Like the way I found out about it was Peach just said, "Hey, you can go here," in her Instagram feed, and I was like, "Oh my god!" and ran there.
Right.
It was there's only 600 of these, right? It's not a 1 of 500. It's not a ratio variant. There's literally only 600 of these in the world, right? And it is a virgin variant of the cover for Magic that she did for the Blood Hunt one shot of Magic, right? Remember last show we were talking about?
I remember. Yeah.
Right. And there were those four, right? I think it was Magic, Psylocke, X-23, and Jubilee, right?
That's right.
So
yep.
the Magic, but they're all trade. They're all trade versions. Comic Man put out a virgin version of the Magic, and I'm a Psylocke fan. I'm the hugest Psylocke fan. But even I will admit that I think Magic is the best of the four. I mean, to me, if you had to rank them in terms of look, it would be Magic, then Jubilee, then personal preference Psylocke, then an X-23. So Magic is gorgeous, and the Comic Mint actually had a pretty reasonable price on these things. So I was like, ooh, and I grabbed it. So that was the second purchase that I got. But I got it at a 9.8 CGC. So it's going to be quite a while until I see it because it has to be submitted. So the third thing is, just like Key, and I wasn't here earlier. Maybe Key was already talking about this because I know Key got his. CGC has recently offered what do you call it? Authenticating signatures on comic books when they have not witnessed it, right? And so far, the only business that had done this is this CBCS grading service. CGC never had done this in the past, but they recently bought, I believe it's called James Spence Authentication, right? JSA. They
That's
actually
right. Yeah.
bought an entire company to do this. And so JSA is well known in the field. Everyone trusts these guys. And they said, "Hey, submit." So I know Key got in there first. He already got his books back. I got in there a little later because I was just agonizing, and I was trying to actually find books to get. And here's the crazy thing: I knew I was taking a chance at getting fake books. I knew it, right? But so I went to eBay and I just bought 3 Stan Lee books, right, that were signed. And one was Stan Lee and Tom McFarlane with Spider-Man number 3. One was, and that was fake, right? Because I submitted it was fake. The second one is Stan Lee and Rob Liefeld for New Mutants number 100, his last work with Marvel before he went to Image, and his 2 issues after the FA Deadpool, which is, as everyone knows, New Mutants number 98. Yep. So that ended up being fake, right?
Oh, no, hang on.
Yeah, so this is hard so far. This is all coming tomorrow, by the way. This is all being delivered tomorrow. Here's the good news.
Oh,
and it was the most important one. And
Oh, win?
I don't mind telling you how much I paid either. I paid some dude in Germany to send it internationally to me for $250, raw comic book. It was a little wavy. I decided to have that thing pressed in New York at a very expensive New York prices on the spot, and clean up as much as possible. And I submitted. And by the way, those other two, they're going to come as 7.0s, right? This one is X-Men number 268. It's one of the most iconic Uncanny X-Men books Jim Lee ever did, right? It's the one with the trifecta on the front, first time ever. It was with Captain America, Black Widow, and Wolverine on the front.
Oh, yeah. I know the one. Yeah,
right. So
with Wolverine in like the Wolverine like
in front.
Yeah, with the brown suit and caps, with the shield up front and center, and
there you go. Everyone knows it, right?
I know
Everyone knows it, and this is the year to have that book. If you don't have that book, because of course Wolverine is huge right now. Blah blah blah. Jim Lee's actually doing covers for Marvel now for Wolverine related. It's insane. That's a future talk to talk about. But 268 is where it's at, right? This one was signed by Stan Lee and Jim Lee, and I'm like, oh my god, both Lees, please let it be real. Please let it be real. It was real. So JSA authenticated it as being real. Both signatures is real. And it got graded as an 8.5, which is quite good for the era. And so I'm like, oh my God, tomorrow, is this really landing? It's going to be a yellow label with black background, JSA CGC 8.5 authenticated Stan Lee Jim Lee book of 268. I think this almost goes to the top of my pile as like my
prized
most
possession.
my most prized possession. It goes from zero to hero. I'm like, I didn't even think I would ever be able to get something like this in my personal collection, and then all of a sudden I have a freaking Stan Lee Jim Lee book. Like, only JSA could have made this happen, and I don't think you could get that kind of deal anymore, because after me, everyone swept all the raw, unwitnessed, authenticated signatures. They all took chances, right? So you can't even find that anymore. So I think that was the one window, and I'm like, oh my god, I got this thing. And I honestly, I don't think you could pry from my hands for like thousands of dollars. I'm not even joking you. Like, now that it's here. So I'm like, oh god. Out of the three, I was like praying to the collector gods that would not be fake. And there you go. So I know I'm bogarting so much of your time, but I'm so excited to tell you about it.
I know, but that, like I've said all the time, that's what these spaces are all about. Like, actually hearing about people's collecting journeys, having given everyone like a platform and opportunity to share like what they've been collecting. But yeah, that's amazing, mate. So I will give you one of these.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, and it is a brand new vertical, right? It's a brand new way of collecting that people had not been able to enjoy before, right? So maybe there's a little public service announcement for your listeners as well, to know that you can now definitely have books, raw, unwitnessed, sent to this service, and hopefully you'll be lucky. You will get it authenticated as being genuine, and then it will come back to you in the yellow label, graded and slabbed forevermore. That is so huge.
That is huge, man. That is huge, bro. I've been waiting a minute for this to happen, because a couple of years ago, went to this comic book store close to where I'm at in Long Island, and it was one of those scenarios where the guy that was there didn't really know what he had, and I kind of didn't know what I had, but I did. And I picked up this Infinity Gauntlet #1. And, it's a pretty busy cover. So I thought I was just getting Infinity Gauntlet #1. The guy thought he was selling me Infinity Gauntlet #1. It was in a special box behind the counter. I had to, work my way into the whole scenario for, an hour before I got to the special box, right? So I go through the special box. Infinity Gauntlet #1 in there. It's like $25. Sick condition, looks great. So I grab it. I walk out. I'm looking at the cover in the sunlight. I'm tilting it, and then I notice it's signed by George Perez in gold.
Ooh!
I'm like,
oh my god!
I'm like, I don't think he was supposed to sell this.
Passed away. Oh my god! When you get guys of that stature, and you all know how huge George Perez is, and he has passed away. All of a sudden, those signatures. I hate to be like gauche about it, but those 10x, like a Stanley signature, it just jumps, right? George Perez, unfortunately, just recently passed away. Like, it'll just leap like crazy. So, Doctor, you are sitting on a literal gold mine. I know you said it's gold signature, but I'm just telling you, it's the time to submit. It is.
That's why I didn't. That's why I haven't done anything with it, because I didn't want to send it into CBCS and get that label, and then I knew if I sent it into
CGC would give the green label passed. You're correct.
Yeah. So this is like, I'm familiar with JSA, so I got to get some more information on how it all happens. But this is perfect, man. This is what I've been waiting for.
Yeah, man. That is amazing, man. Let's go.
Yeah, this is the time, Doctor. This is exactly the time for that piece to see the light of day. Yeah.
So, John, how much do you think it would cost, like the whole process to get it
done? Here's the thing, like you said, you think it's crispy, but don't trust it.
Yeah.
So factor in the fact that you need to get that pressed and clean too, right? So
it looks fresh. I could look at it and tell it's been pressed.
I mean, I would still press it.
You would get it pressed again? It's not going to hurt, right?
I would still do it. And that would cost you an extra, like, what, $28, right? So factor that in. And then you're going to still have to do the typical grading and slabbing, right? So that's an extra $35 on top. So now you're looking at 35, 45, 55, 60, 63, right? And then you have to pay for the authentication too, which is $25. So that's 60, 63, 73, 83, 85, right? 5 plus 3, 5, 8, 88. $88. It's going to take you $88, like, and then $14 shipping, right? So then there you go. It'll cost you $100. It'll cost about $100. So, but just know that your raw George Perez book is currently worth less than trade raw because it's not authenticated, right? Because they will treat it like a marker scribbling graffiti on that book, right? And it's actually devaluing that book. If JSA proves that it's real, then whatever that book is currently doing as a raw, it will just jump exponentially. I couldn't even give you a number. I would have to go on eBay and find out, what his SIGs are getting these days. But I'm sure it's pretty good. It's definitely worth more than 100. So yeah, it might be worth going all the way to the nines, especially if that's your joint, right? Like if you love the Infinity Gauntlet, you love George Perez, like you want to have that for your personal collection. You want to keep it tight for the rest of your life. That's what I would do for it. I think it's worth 100 to do for something like that.
That's it.
Yeah, I think it's time, man. So I appreciate the information, man. It's always some good gems when you're in the building. So I appreciate it.
Oh yeah, and you can get that whole process done online now, right? Like, so there's they've moved everything to computer forms now. So like you could go to their website right now, start up an electronic order form, and you will see the options there for JSA authentication as well. Here's the one thing to avoid, Doctor. Avoid this one, which is you will think you will have to pick the autograph grading. Do not pick the autograph grading. It's useless. Like, I get why they're offering it, and that costs another $35 or whatever it is. But what they're grading is something similar to what PSA does for card grades, right? Which is they're grading the aesthetic look of the signature itself. That, like, you don't need that, man. Like, you don't need that on your comic book. All you need JSA to do is to prove that it's real. That's all you need to do. And then let CGC take over from there to actually grade the actual condition of the actual comic book. And that's what people will respect on the market.
So basically they're doing everything all in-house?
All in-house now, all on one order form. That's right. You give it to them, they'll take care of everything soup to nuts.
That's perfect. Yeah. So even the cleaning, pressing, all that, they're doing it all, right?
They could do it all. But remember, do not pick that option for autograph grading.
No, I know.
Completely separate service. yours.
Yeah, I actually just got a rookie card, a rookie auto that's graded by Beckett. And I noticed on Beckett, they do that. They grade the card, but then they have another grade on the label for the autograph, which is silly. It's graded a 10, and it's like, it's a modern rookie. So it's kind of like, you could find a million of his signatures all over the place. It's like, what exactly am I grading? Like, he scribbles his name on all of them. So what is, it's just like, this is weird. But yeah, I know about that. It's really semantics. Stupid.
Yeah, like you really don't need it, and honestly, you're taking the chance that you're not gonna. And they have insurance or whatever it is. You don't need to fool with it. You really don't need to fool with it. I have 3 cards over here by Beckett, actually, cards that I graded by Beckett, and it sucks because the grade of the card themselves is quite high, but the autograph they graded a 7. So even though I want to enjoy my cards, it annoys me to walk by that card and see that there's a 7 on it. And I know it's not because of the condition of the card. It's just because they didn't like how fat the Sharpie was or where it was placed. It's like, come on, guys. Like, so I'm never doing that again. I'm never paying for grading of a signature again. Like, it's stupid.
Yeah, no, it is. I bought the card that I got already graded, and I got it for a good price. That's pretty much what I do now, is I just hunt graded cards for cheap prices. And it got like a 9 on the actual card and then a 10 on the auto. But I just like the way the Beckett slab looks for this particular player in the card. But it's definitely silly. I think it's my only Beckett slab, actually. It's my first, especially auto. But
yeah, the Beckett slabs are I agree with you. They are kind of cool. I do have 3, like I said, I did it before, but they're not the same size as like the typical card slabs. So I had to buy a special frame to present these 3. And it was so annoying to go through a lot. And what sucks is I go through all that and I put it all together and I got it. And yet I still don't have full satisfaction when I walk by that thing and it is very pretty, don't get me wrong. But the 7s are staring at me, right? So I just don't like it. And it would be different if it was like an old card. But like you said, these are modern cards I'm looking at. Like I shouldn't be walking by a modern card and seeing a 7 on it. You know what I mean? For any reason.
yeah,
So,
exactly.
yeah, that puts me.
Yeah. See,
off.
mine isn't so bad because it's like, all right, realistically, I know I'm not going to get a 10 for the card, right? It's Beckett. So when you see a 9, 10, it's like, all right, I know that if I crack this open, send it to PSA, that's a 10 all day, so.
Don't tempt me to crack these labs. I spent plenty of money trying to put it together. It would be it is what it is. You know what I actually was tempted to do, Doctor? I'm not even kidding you, because it's in a 3-card frame, right? I was thinking about just like ditching it, bringing it to AnimeCon, and because the guy who signed it is named Pinky Hood, right? So he's the guy who does all the Street Fighter like art and everything like that. I was thinking about just gifting it to the guy, because he doesn't seem like the kind of guy who collects his own cards, right? Because he doesn't actually make many cards. He does like Street Fighter comics, right? And posters and prints. But he just recently got chosen to do some art for the Upper Deck anime series, right? So I know this man does not have any graded trading cards of his own art. I just know it. So I was thinking, why not just go and like give it to the guy and talk him up and maybe try to get a remark from him or something. You know what I mean? Try to get a little something out of it that I would enjoy more, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Like, but I mean, Osmond, you know it as well as anyone that a collector has to enjoy their personal collection.
Oh, absolutely.
If it's not to the 9s, then it can't stay in the PC. You're always thinking about, okay, what's the exit strategy on this, right? And that's no way to think about something that, like a PC, something in your personal collection should be like something that you line your coffin with, right? That's what a PC is, right? Because anything else then is just temporarily with you and you're a custodian of it, trying to take good care of it for the next guy who's going to cherish it more than you. That's the way to think about it, right? But if it's in your PC, that's yours, right? That's almost like crafting part of the enjoyment of like why you do this in the first place. And I'm not going as far as saying is your identity, but it definitely like brings a character set to your collecting that kind of defines how you enter this space and this community, all the rest of that stuff. Like, in other words, like, you all would react differently if, like, to me, if all I was a Lobo guy, right? And all I did was collect Lobo junk from DC and Lobo this and Lobo that, and like, it would be a completely different animal than as you know me right now, right? Which is exactly what Key Collector said. It's like, I love anime, and so I love like Peach Momoko, and I love all, like, you can figure me out by the things that I like, right? And so that's what a personal collection should do. It should reflect like the best of what a collector wants to present, you know, like to themselves in the mirror. That's the most important thing, but also to the world about what they really enjoy, right?
Yeah.
That's their calling card. That's their calling card. And I don't want a calling card with a 7 on it, right? From a modern card. So that's part of it too. It's not just the content. It really is also the grade. And this is a further discussion, Osman, maybe not for today, but a while back, I had a discussion with the dude who, you know, invented the grading system, right? That Steven dude.
Yeah, Steve
right?
Fisher. Yeah, we've
Right.
I've
It was
had,
on your spaces.
Yeah, so actually, it actually might have been in my space.
Yeah, right. And so that was such a great space that you held that day, because I got so much out of it. I keep referring back to that space because the dude was basically like, look, we didn't invent the grading system. The grading system is just a natural consequence of collectors wanting to compete with each other, right? That's a human nature thing, right? It's like, if I have a rock and you have a rock, like, we can't help ourselves but by comparing our rocks. You know what I mean? Who
like,
has the better rock?
Yeah,
you know
might
what I mean?
be shinier than yours, or mine bigger than yours. That's
And all the grading system did was put something, and it seems artificial and it seems arbitrary, but it just allows for uniformity to settle the debate. That's all that it is. And he even admits that on any given day, one comic book is just as good as another comic book, right? But the grading system will allow you to choose one comic over another comic, right? That's all that it does. And so it really is based on trust. You have to trust it. And then adoption. And at this point, everyone has adopted it. Everyone is, I mean, like, and as he noted, that's his system. Both CBCS and CGC both use his system, right? It's the same system. It's just different companies using the same qualifications and grading. So that's what we have. That's what we're going to live with. That's what we're going to go for. I don't think that's going to change. He was very smart to put that into place, and it is part of what we do now. And indeed, I will feel different when I walk by something and it's a lower grade than if I walk by something and it's a higher grade, even though that has nothing to do possibly with like why I should enjoy that comic book. It literally just represents that to me. That means that there's certain number of like collectibles on the census that are better than mine. And how much is that going to piss you off, right? And how much does that make you gonna want to go and upgrade or not, right? So that's it. That's the only reason it exists. And so you shouldn't feel bad walking by. Like right now, I have a Platinum Spider-Man #1 on the wall, right? Platinums are very hard to find, but I mean, it's a 7.5 grade. You know, it's not a great grade. Now, I accept it as my piece because it's copper era. It's not modern, right? So to me, 7.5 is kind of the borderline before I start frowning. I'm still happy when I walk by it. But of course, I know that there are ones that are 9.8s out there, right? That I cannot afford. But I made my piece because I understand there's a certain dollar sign that goes by, you know, trying to get in there, right? And so I'm okay with people owning the 9.8s because I can't afford those. That is fine. And so I live my life with a 7.5 and knowing what I paid for it, I'm happy with it. And because at the end of the day, I have a Spider-Man #1 Platinum that presents really well, right, on the wall. And so that's great. So, you know, people, and this, oh my gosh, I said it for a later time, but we're basically discussing it, Osman. Like whether grading is an evil or not for the collecting arena, right? I think, and some people say, oh, it's a double-edged sword. You can live by it and you can die by it. I disagree. You know, and I think Key Collector alluded to this a little earlier, which is, I think it's only good for the hobby. I think it's only good for the hobby, because anytime that you can eliminate ambiguity, whether or not it's artificial or not, it doesn't matter, because uh, it's not even like, hey, this is creating transparency, because it was nothing to pierce the veil. When you look behind the veil before, it stayed gray, right? What the grading system allowed you to do was, whether you liked it or not, it forced books into a number. It forced books into a number. But then what that allowed everyone to do then is to actually make sound collecting decisions for themselves based on that number. For instance, I just told you about one, right? That one book, I was able to say, I'm willing to pay this amount of money for a book of that number, and I'm not willing to spend that amount of money for a book of that number, right?
Exactly.
That would have been impossible, like in the 1980s, because, pre-grading, because it was so ambiguous, right? That I wouldn't know what to do. And then when I get it, it actually is less satisfaction, because I am a slightly competitive. I don't know how I measure up against everybody, right? And so if you are like caring about pecking orders and things like that, then you can never win, right? And so there is a little bit of that competitiveness too. And so this gives you the arena to win, right? And I love it when people get something back from, like, say, CGC, and they get a freaking like 10.0 or 9.9 or something. And these days they're giving them out a little more commonly, right? But still, to have your first 9.9 sitting on you, it's a special feeling. It really is. It's like, oh my God, like I actually have one of these. It really feels actually unique and special, even if the creator of the grading system is telling me that 9.9 maybe is not any different than the 9.8 next to it, right? Because the slab says 9.9, it actually is a dopamine hit. And as a collector, it puts a wider smile on my face. So I'm like, anytime that is capable of happening, then I believe that system is doing good for the collecting community. Let it continue. And also, secondary market pricing wise, it allows for more consistency, and then patterns and strategies can come out of that as a result. Entire apps are created in order to tell you about what is rare, what is not rare, and how many people have something in a certain grade, and like that only can help, right? It really only can help. That like granularity of definition really assists the collector. It really does. I don't think it's a grift. I don't think it's a scam. I think it's something that was sorely needed in the space, and now that we have it, I'm actually having more fun collecting now than I did when I was a kid collecting in the 80s and 90s, because grading exists. I'm being very honest with you. So there you go. That's my opinion.
Yeah, no, awesome. So now comes the question is, like, moving into, like, the more like the digital space, and, like, what we have, like, on VeVe, for example, like, how do you feel like, the grading system might evolve on that sort of sense, like, because now obviously physical condition is not really the sort of like a factor anymore, like, is it all like basically just purely down to mint numbers and edition sizes now?
Yeah, I'll give you a perfect example of how something like VeVe works for me, right? And this is something that I know was also brought in up in your space, and I know they're trying to work on a digital grading system, but more power to them. I think it's a really tough road, because they cannot use the same valuation sets, right? Because like every NFT is perfect, right? Like there's not one that can be differentiated from another, unless you put something in there that seems too arbitrary, which is a mint number or an addition number.
Yeah.
And on VeVe, they don't even use mint numbers, right? They use addition numbers. And I think not enough people understand this. There is a token ID associated with that particular token hitting the blockchain and being minted. That is not the number that you see in your face. The number you see in your face is not a mint number, it's an addition number. It is something that arbitrarily is placed there by the company VeVe, to associate on the metadata, and it will carry and all the rest of it. It will be non-functional. It will, but that number doesn't necessarily mean anything. So if you see something that is like mint number 1 and you see one that is mint number 2, that does not mean that number 1 came first. And that is truly problematic in the space, right? So I think true collectors, once they really find out what's behind the numbers, they're gonna not respect the numbers, right? So even though we kind of have a pseudo parallel of what's happening in the physical world, at the end of the day, I think it's a turnoff to be beholden to it too closely. I think the better thing to do is for NFTs to embrace what makes NFTs amazing. And I'll give you a perfect example of this.
Mm-hmm.
Today, there was a drop at frickin' 3 in the morning EST my time, right? And it was X-Men number 700. It was a very, very important comic book. It was the comic book that ended the Krakoan era for the X-Men.
Yep, I know the one.
Right. The Krakoa era has been going on for freaking years, right? Across all the X titles. It has just been all-encompassing. In fact, when it kicked off, that was the first X-Men comic book we got on VeVe, which was House of X. House of X number 1 was the beginning of the Krakoan era. And so all these years later, we got X-Men number 700, which is the end. And it was 86 pages. Okay.
Oh, wow.
I had all of my breakfast, all of my community, and all of my lunchtime finishing this book. Right. So but see, that's the point. Did I put my feet into the LCS? No. Like, I didn't even have time today. My freaking car got towed. I had no time to go to the local cover. Right?
Did you say your car got towed?
Oh, it's horrible. I was going to buy multiple mystery bags at Keys next show. I think I'm going to be forced to just buy one because I had to pay for this damn car tow. So, yeah, I did get my car back. Thank God.
Oh, that's good.
It was crazy. Well, anyhow, so this book, I wanted to read it really badly because it's like, come on. Like, it's the end of, from the ashes, there's going to be all these brand new X-Men books, right? Like, oh, I'm so excited about the Ryan Stegman one. We could talk about like the new chapter for X-Men later, but this is the end of Krakoan era. What, am I not going to show up to the season finale? Of course I want to show up. VeVe allowed me to show up 3 in the morning to go buy this thing. And if I wanted to stay up to read it, I could have stayed up and read it before anybody in New York City read that comic book.
Yep.
That is insane. Other people would have had to wait until 11 a.m. or whenever like Midtown Comics opens, go roll in there, fight everybody off of their copy off the rack, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I had read it hours before them, and I could have spoiled it for them on Twitter if I wanted to. You know what I'm saying? So, like, that is something that VeVe can give me as a comic book reader that no other comic book venue currently allows you to do. Like, I don't think that should be discounted whatsoever. That is huge value. That is huge value. Okay. And that's just from a reading perspective. Now, let's say I want to own the thing, right? And so, like, and it was more expensive to buy this thing, by the way. I think it was like $9.99 for the reading copy and like $12.95.
Yeah, it's like $12.99, yeah, for the limited edition copy.
Yeah, so I bought the limited edition copy, which actually gives you like an NFT on VeVe, right?
Yep.
And so right. I just bought the common, and so I do think that common eventually will be an iconic cover, right? But after I read my book, I'm like, okay, I read the book. I'm probably gonna pick up a physical in the real world. I kind of don't need my reader copy anymore. You know what I did with that copy? I flipped it to somebody, who probably didn't want to put fiat into the site, but they have a lot of gems on the site. I sold it to them for enough gems where I went and got a Blackpink light stick on the secondary for the same price. So you're telling me, and I had to sell my light stick, by the way, to go get my rose gold statue, right? So I was light stick-less, right? Like, as a Blackpink fan, but I'm not going to have light stick. So yeah. I was able to basically read this comic book for free. And then with the money I put into it, I actually had something that I would like to actually collect and go forward and keep, right? So see what this kind of done, and I never stepped foot in a local comic book store. I never went to a Comic-Con to trade somebody a comic book for a light stick. That trade would never ever happen anyhow, right?
That's
but
right.
that kind of stuff was able to be able to happen because VeVe has so many wide-ranging licenses that they have of premium IPs. I happen to be a fan of several of them, and so if I don't want to keep something here, I may want to keep something over there that is totally unrelated to X-Men comic books. See what I'm saying? So that is something that VeVe can give you that, like, a lot of other places who allow you to collect and read and enjoy things of this nature don't allow you to do. That is their strength. And nowhere in there did I talk about like the kind of traditional collecting stuff, like of value sets that, LCSs are beholden to, and they try to sell traditional buyers and collectors things. Right. So that's just a small example. There are many other type of value sets that you can put around NFTs that will enhance the experience and encourage people to use it. But that's just one real life use case that literally happens today that I can share with you.
Yeah, but that is awesome. So I'm going to give you one of them for a start. Yeah, and I completely agree with you. I mean, like, VeVe's providing like this amazing product where you can do like all these things on from the convenience of your house, from the office, and like you said, like you don't have to get down to your local comic book shop when they first open. Don't have to like fight off the crowd like it's Black Friday or something like that. You can just do it like all from the nice peaceful surroundings of your own home. But I was just reading something on X, and I reckon this sort of classes pretty good for our breaking news segment. So, breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. I've just been reading here on X. Well, first of all, the VeVe app is website will be down temporarily for maintenance from 1:30 a.m. to 3:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on Thursday, the 6th of June. But that's just a little side note. What I just been reading, just on the subject of VeVe releasing same-day comics, is apparently over on Candy. Candy is apparently going to be doing the exact same with DC Comics now. So apparently, yeah, they're going to be doing same-day releases for their DC Comics. So very, very cool.
I am ashamed as a Batcave guy that you broke that news to me, but I'm here talking and I totally missed that. I'm sorry, but I think I'm actually going to have to step away and join fellow bad brethren over there to go give them high fives. So before I run off, I just wanted to say, because I wasn't able to talk to Key for a second. Hey, Key, I want to let you know that all this anti-LCS talk doesn't mean that I don't buy physical comics. I love physical comics.
Oh, nah. Coming from you, bro, it's all good, man. I just, I get really upset when people want to, compare. Like, I saw a post by Sergio, and he was talking about like how people in digital collecting wouldn't last, 2 days in IRL collecting. And then you see, he has a post of some YouTube show where it talks about like comics going down 91%. But what people don't know is that the modern comics have gone down a lot more. And I basically said, you can't compare it. And it's almost like, it's funny because when we try to bring up IRL prices with the digital comic prices, it's always different. But when something gets fucked up, digitally, they want to start comparing the physical. And I'm like, you can't pick you got to pick your poison. For me personally, I want both. All in all, I want the hobby to grow. You know what I'm saying? But I hate the blasphemy. And I basically told him one was an artificial pump, which was the digital comics. That was an artificial pump. And one was a hyperinflation, type of pump. You know what I'm saying? Where, that the comics that are going down a lot IRL were because money was printing during COVID and everybody was pumping those books. And you know what I'm saying? I mean, books that shouldn't, now they're coming back down to regular price. You know what I'm saying? Like the real price, and the character has to, has to, continue to grow as, as they should, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, so no, John, but coming from you, bro, no, I know you're a physical collector as much as you are a digital collector, bro. So hell nah. You're like, I was just like, I was like, the people that are coming in now collecting, like, they're so freaking lucky because when we came in, John, Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we were just like, I mean, other than you, because you got the knowledge and shit like that. But for me, it was more so just listening to fan talk, right? But the knowledge that is being spewed out by so many people, as far as collecting goes, bro, like I wish I would have came in, to the space now, with the mature collectors that there are in the space and them spreading free knowledge just like you do every day. I'm just like, fuck, dude. I won't say I wasted so much money, you know what I'm saying? But I could have saved a lot of money because, somebody said, hey, stop buy, you don't gotta buy all the trades. Start going for the rare comics, man. Start going for your silver age. Start going for your bronze. What I'm saying? I would have been like, bro, because I was just buying everything, bro. But long story short, man, I'm not mad at the road that of my collecting. I just now, like, if you're coming in and you're collecting, please just like listen to like all the OG collectors, Petro, Jahn, God Squad, uh, freaking D's husband Hinano, OG collector. You know what I'm saying? Yep. There's a lot. Petro. I mean, she's VK. VK, even God bless him. You know what I'm saying? Even if he's sick, I bet you DM that dude about comics. Huh? No, just give me 2 minutes, baby. I got 2 minutes, but yeah, VK will answer. VK will answer your questions and whatever. There's just so much knowledge, bro. Where it's like, if you come in saying, "Oh, I'm still learning how to collect," I don't know. We're all in the same space. I'm like, what are you listening to then, bro? Like, come on, man. Like, come on, there's just too much knowledge out there, man. I I had to learn CGC grading on my own. That was scary. That was like learning fucking crypto on, like,
yeah.
And I mean, going, learning, not to go through every net. Like, another thing, like, every website is not trust worthy. They will take your money. You will not receive your comic, and you can email them and whatever. And it's happening. I mean, I probably like $2,000 worth of orders that I know of that I've never seen, and I've tried to reach the companies and they don't reach back. So, what was it? I don't have the name. Unknown Comics is one of them. Don't go through them. Beach Bum Comics, they're hella late, like, but you will get it. It's just, what I'm saying? It's just like, it sucks because when you see that comic that you ordered already on the secondary, like, other people selling, and you're like, damn, when am I gonna get my book? And then you realize that they dipped out on you. So there's a lot of websites out there that'll rug you, but I stick to Trinity. I stick to Instagram Live with Nickel and Dimes, and Comic Corner, which John went through today, to get his book. And if you're just starting out, if you want cool virgins or cool trades, big time collectibles, they're pretty good at getting your books. But yeah, man, there's not that many out there. You'll see, but if you listen, what I'm saying, you're just started as a collector, you could become a mature collector in in like 2 weeks. It took me 3. Hey, there's a picture of me in when I first started collecting. I want to post it so bad. I mean, just if you guys see what I had when I first started, you guys would be like, what the hell? Like, and I appreciate the journey, man. You know what I'm saying? That's collecting. So, and John, like, when he talks about Blackpink, like, his journey, with K-pop, that shit was a long time ago. So to see his journey come to fruition, or some would say fruition, with what up, Hulu? Hey, but just to see it come to the digital space now, in which he is still heavily active in, bro. That's really like, yeah, as a collector, that's my shit. But But yeah, man. Now I'm enjoying this journey, man, and I just wanted to come up, man, because we're about to get in the movie night. But Osmond, keep on doing what you're doing, bro. You know what I'm saying? People like you will continue to grow because you're consistent. You got a good attitude. You know what I'm saying? And you love the hobby. Oh yeah, Disney too. Before I go, because Darren was like, you talk to everybody, and bro, I ended up like there's like 3 guys at a table, and they had like these big ass. And whatchamacallit, they're all full of like Disney pins, bro. Like
right.
Rare Disney pins, bro. And so you can't sell in the park, but you can trade. So it's cool. So they had their little setup and people were just going up to them, trading. And I ended up talking to one guy and he was like, yeah, man, we come out here like 3-4 times a week. We just stand here and trade and, you know what I'm saying, stay young, you know what I'm saying? And that's one thing about this hobby. That's why it's kind of crazy. Like, if you see any adulting when it comes to, collecting, then if they're adulting, then they're not really collecting, because to me, when you're collecting, it's just you're a fucking kid again. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
You're having fun. So that's how I see collecting. So that's another reason why I came to your space, is because, like, I mean, we already know the narrative going around, but is that the way it should be, especially when it comes to collecting? So collecting is all about having fun, shooting the shit, and talking about your favorite characters and all that stuff, bro.
Yep.
So there, like I said, there should be no there should be no adulting. None. I'm gonna hold a space and it'd be called no adulting.
That's it. No adulting here.
No. Okay, I gotta go. My lady says she's gonna fall asleep and she's gonna beat me up if she falls asleep. So I appreciate you guys.
No, it's
love you, bro. All right. Ow! Stop! Damn.
All right. No worries, mate.
You a white girl? You know I can't hit white girls, man. Damn! I go to jail.
Go on, mate. You better get out of here before you get before something happens. Enjoy the movie, guys. Enjoy the rest of your vacation. And
Real Hinano, how do you guys? Hey, man, I'm in an abusive relationship. Ow, damn! All right, y'all, I gotta go. Damn.
You better go, mate, before this.
Nah, she's the best. She's not hitting me. She's not hitting me.
That's it. Be kind to him. He's got a show to do on Friday.
All right, Brody. Much love, guys.
All right, take care, mate. Have a good one. And yeah, like I said before, guys, check out his show on Friday on Whatnot. Is going to be electrifying. I myself am going to try and get in there, and I might even try and snag some money together to try and get myself a mystery bag. We'll see how we go. But yeah, definitely get involved. And yeah, so look at that. So we've got half an hour left. So it's 5:30 here in the morning. I didn't even realize the time. We got lost in conversation, but it's been great. It's been a nice sort of chilled out session. I know there's a lot going on in the spaces at the moment. I know Millie's got and Impact's got their spaces going on, so that's probably where a lot of people are hanging out. But that's totally cool. I just appreciate everyone taking the time to come and chill in the space with me here. I appreciate thank you, John and Key Collector, and we had Dino in for a little bit as well. DoktaStrange for coming up and speaking as well. And big thank you for everyone who's stuck with us for the whole time or just popping in. I see Hinano, D, Evolved, EO. So Mark D still with us. So Poppy's been listening in the background. Hope you've been doing well, mate. It's been a while since we spoke. So if like I said, if anyone's able to and wants to come up and speak, you're all welcome to do so. And so that's what these spaces are all about. Basically, just like we were just saying with our Key Collector, it's all about collecting, connecting with others, and just enjoying the collecting journey. And yeah, I totally agree with him. Like, oh yeah, go on, mate.
Thank you for the news blast on thing. I took a look at it. Man, I was so confused because I actually knew about that drop. I am redeemed. I actually knew what's happening. So it's the Gotham by Gaslight drop. So what I did not actually know is that one of the options was a real-time drop, right? Like, for instance, the physical is going to come out the same day as the digital. I think that's really cool. But it's more of like a one-off prototype kind of thing. It's not like... Yeah, they're not putting out like an entire website like VeVe did, and it's basically effectively like the replacement for an LCS. It's not that huge, right? So, but it is true that they are putting out something that is going to be, in the on the racks at the same time. I think the closest we got to that before was the Robin Lives variant, where they told the alternate tale where Robin actually did not get killed. Jason Todd did not get killed by the Joker, and that was something that physically was on the racks pretty shortly before everyone got mailed a physical copy, like in the real world, and then we all got the digital copy like for free. So yeah, that's about as close as we saw it before. But yeah, it doesn't seem like Candy is gonna, aka rival VeVe in terms of the enormity of its rollout, right? So, but hey, still nice to have, and it's a little bit mechanic and horses of courses, right? DC is doing a little different, more power to them doing it a little differently, and I still definitely buy stuff over there as well. Talking about DC, and this that I forgot it. There is one more thing to report because it landed today, but I forgot about it because it didn't land with me. It landed with my sister because when they're high ticket, big value items, I send it to my sister instead of me because I can avoid sales tax because New York pays 8.5% on all purchases, right?
Whereabouts is your sister?
She lives in Delaware.
Delaware,
so that's
okay.
Yeah, that's a tax-free state, and it's literally just like a 2-hour drive down. On a weekend, I could just go pick this thing up or whatever it is. I tend to go there once a month anyhow to, go visit her and everything. Yeah. Of course, my little guest room, I already set up a couple shelves, has comic books on there. I had my whole box set.
As you do.
Yeah. And I even got her a little into it myself, because like she's a huge Star Wars fan. So I started incorporating a little bit of that in there for her. She doesn't know it, and she's not in space. So I can tell you, like I already bought her a Peach Momoko San Diego Comic-Con Grogu, cover slab.
Nice.
For her. It's beautiful, but so that's Christmas present, right? It's very nice. It's kind of pricey, so that's coming her way. I also got one that is not yet authenticated or slabbed, but it's like we were talking to the doctor before about JSA. I might want to do it. I've had this comic book forever, and I haven't been giving it to her because I don't want to give it to her just like here's this floppy old raw comic book, right? No. I want it like nice, right? Yep. But it's called Droids, and it's an ancient comic book, and probably I would have to press it. It may not come back in 9.8, but the important thing is it has one of the earliest C-3PO covers on it, right? It's signed by Anthony Daniels.
Oh.
So that's a big one, right? And then my sister really loves the droids, right? Like C-3PO and R2-D2. So the fact that like the actual actor for C-3PO signed this comic book, it's not even like an artist signature. We're not talking celebrity autograph, right? Like to her as a Star Wars fan, that is a celebrity level autograph. So I really had to make sure that gets done right. I think I'm going to submit that to JSA and like that's possible if you're 1-2 punch for Christmas, right? So I have all these plans and everything, but that's not what I'm here to talk about. So the point is, my sister just said, "Hey, you got a package. Do you want me to open it?" I'm like, no, I'll just open it next time I'm there. Just tell me what it looks like, who it's from.
Yep.
I forgot about this piece. And it's so bad because, again, like big ticket items go to her, right? I'm like, what the hell is this big ticket item I sent to her? So I searched through my stuff. I had bought in April. And it took
okay.
It took for that's why I forgot. Because the dude sold it to me, went on vacation to Hong Kong for 2 months, and literally just came back and shipped it to me. It basically could have been a scam. Thankfully, it was not a scam. It may still be a scam because I didn't open it. I don't want my sister opening that stuff. She might like stick a knife through it, and you know what I mean? Just like open it. Here's what it is.
Oh, what is it? Hey, wait! I got something for this. Give you 2 seconds.
Mm-hmm. Okay, here we go, and it is huge, right? So, okay, normal prints are definitely bigger than the 8.5 by 11. That's a normal sheet of paper, right? Usually you'll have something like an 11 by 14, right? This is bigger than that. It's like a 20 by. It's huge. It's a huge piece of. It's not even paper. It's like canvas. It's like it's
a beast for sounds of it.
It's the biggest thing I'm gonna put on my wall. All right, and it is, and I authenticate. I mean, in my mind, I authenticated because I tracked down exactly when this happened. I found other similar things. I mean, this is all real. I know it's all real. I don't have to authenticate it. This is real. It's a Jim Lee sketch of Batman during the Hush era. So he signed it back in 2000. But it's not just that, right? Because any Jim Lee Batman profile sketch these days will run you 1,000 even, right? Just to have him sketch it. But that's not where we leave it, right? Because then there's and then he signed it, of course, right? And he signed it sideways. It's kind of cool. But I mean, and it's his old signature too. It's not just like the squiggle that represents Jim. It's like the whole Jim, and then there's another whole different word that says Lee. Is like the old school, early like aughts signature. That's not the cool part though, which is crazy because it's a Jim Lee Batman sketch, right, from the Hush era.
Yep.
Alex Sinclair later stepped in. And I don't even know when he did it. Maybe he did it the same day. Who knows when he did it, but it's definitely Alex Sinclair. And Alex colored it. But he didn't just color it. He like appropriately blacked it out, right? So basically, the whole damn sheet of paper is like black, except for a white outline for anywhere where Jim Lee touched, including every single sketch line, from his marker and his signature. So his signature looks like it has like a glowing white like background to the signature. So the whole thing is just big ink blackness with a white outline of Jim Lee's sketch of Batman and his signature. It is gorgeous. It is gorgeous, and it's huge, right? So I'm like, oh my god! And then to top it off, Alex Sinclair on top of the black, so it was him because he did that, and then he put it on top of his coloring of it. He wrote his signature in gold. So you have Alex Sinclair's signature in gold of the coloring of Jim Lee's, sketch of Batman, Hush era, and I'm like, oh my god! And so I was like, I don't think I can afford this thing, right? So then I haggled with him for months. I haggled, and this guy was very difficult to communicate with because again, he's like a world hopper. He's all over the place. I didn't even know if I finally got him to a number that we could both live with, and then he left the country. Right? So I'm like, oh no.
In the meantime, you're thinking yes, and thinking no because like might potentially got stick jammed. It's like damn it.
What's happening? And so it finally landed. I cannot wait to see it, and oh man, it's gonna be so amazing. So I don't even want to share it yet. I want to actually have it in front of my eyeballs, take a picture of that.
Yeah.
But
so
I don't want to jinx it. Yeah, I don't want.
You'll have to get your sister or something to film like like an unboxing experience or something just to see the look on your face when you eventually get that out of the box.
I hate to say this, my sister, but I don't even want her removing a piece of masking tape from the package. Put it over here. Don't touch me.
You just have to ring her and just say, "Do not touch that package. I am on my way."
Yeah.
Don't look at it. Don't breathe anywhere near it.
So that has been a labor of love. I mean, as y'all know, I mean, even before I discovered Peach Momoko, it really was the Jim Lee thing, right? So like, he's Korean, I'm Korean, like our dads know each other is crazy stuff, right? So it's like
seriously?
Oh, you never heard the story? Oh,
no, I haven't. No.
Oh my gosh. This is the story for the ages. Let me tell you. So my dad went to Seoul National University Medical School, right? And so he's a doctor. And Jim Lee's dad was his upperclassman. Same school, same profession, right? So they knew each other within 2 years of each other, right? So at any class reunion, they're always going to see each other, right? So here's the thing. When I was a kid, I never registered Jim Lee's presence, right? Because he was not much older than me, but to a kid, it's old enough where like he's ancient, compared to me. So like I'm hanging around my little group of kids when we go to these like school, right? Yeah. So and then Jim Lee aged out, right? So and he started, working for a living, and then started drawing comic books. There's this whole thing. It's amazing when you see this biography of him online. He will talk about how his dad is a doctor, Jim wanted to try to be a doctor. And then he's like, oh my God, this is not for me. And then they had a huge falling out when he said, no, I'm going to pivot to freaking comic books. It's just all this crazy story. So
right.
I get his struggle because all of us, like, kids went through that same struggle, right? Like immigrant families wanted to do exactly what their dad did to be successful and ended up not doing that thing, right? And then where's your headspace at, right? And so here's the amazing story. At one of these things, and they had to rotate because they all want to golf. These doctors, they all want to golf, right? They don't want to be watching the kids, but somebody has to watch these kids, right? So because we're all like very young at the time, we're not like college age kids, we're like kids, right? So it's Jim Lee's dad's turn to watch us. Okay, so we don't know him from Adam. We don't know this guy, right? So, but he's come and he goes, he wants to keep us busy, right? So he comes with a box of comics. And then the box of comics that he brings, and I think this is like 1986 or whatever it is, like way back in the day. They're all the same comic book, just like a gigantic like box full of Alpha Flight 51s, right? Like that yellow cover, like the Alpha Flight just like coming at you and everything like that. So that is Jim Lee's very first Marvel comic book. That's the first comic book he ever made for Marvel. And his dad had a box full of them, and he was handing them out for free like candy to us kids. And then, I mean, of course, we get to reading, but everyone's bored after a while. So Jim Lee's dad tells us a story, right? And this is very unusual coming from his generation, because his generation usually doesn't talk to kids, right? Like, including their own sons. They don't talk, right? But he's very interestingly wants to talk to us, right? And so he sits us down, and he goes, "Do you guys know what this comic book is?" And we're like, "Of course not. It looks just a comic book, whatever." And honestly, it was my first comic book, right? And he goes, "What this comic book represents is a bet, right? And it was a bet between my son and I, and because my son wanted to do something I didn't want him to do, right? He wanted to not be a doctor, right? And then I really wanted him to be a doctor, right? And I think he actually went to freaking Princeton. He was a smart kid and all that, but they had this big fight, and then Jim said, "If I make it, like, I want you to like tell all these other like doctors' kids." That they don't always have to listen to their dad, right? That was the fight, right? Like, they don't always have to listen to their dad, and sometimes you're right by doing what you want to do, right? And so, to Dr. Lee's credit, when Jim made it, he asked Jim, and probably he said in the heat of the moment. Jim probably said in the heat of the moment, of course, but Dr. Lee didn't forget that, right? So he said, "Jim, give me a box of your comic books that you just printed, like your very first comic book, that proves you made it, right, at this major company called Marvel." And so Jim sent him a bunch, and he intentionally was like, "This is me," and like he can never say I'm sorry to his son, right? That's the dynamic of Korean fathers, right? Like, he could never say I'm sorry, but in his mind, this was his apology by saying, "I am adhering to the terms of the bet. So here are these comic books that represent that you can actually do what you want in life. You don't always have to listen to your dad. Your dad's not always right. You can actually follow your passion and follow your dreams and actually be successful. You don't have to just do what your dad did, right?" And so that was very big of him to, like, that comic book is so meaningful because I never forgot that lesson, actually, right? And so actually it helped buffer when I had to eventually have that talk with my dad and say, "I'm not going to be a doctor. I'm going to do my own thing." And so I still have that comic book, right? I still have Alpha Flight number 51. It meant so much. And I never had met Jim. I met him, but I didn't meet him, right? But in his formal official capacity as a comic book person, I had not actually met him since that day, right? Or even that day I met his dad, right? And didn't even recognize his presence before. So I never met Jim Lee as an adult, right? Until 2 years ago. I met him in New York Comic Con. And of course, I just droned it on about the story, but I cut to the quick over there. He got where I was coming from because we both grew up the same way. So he got where I got this comic book from. So he knew what this meant, right? And so usually when artists like there's a huge line like for Jim to sign, right?
Yep.
He personalized, and I can't say what it is because it has my real name on it when it talks to me. But
yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah, but it was an actual personal message to me. And then he signed it, and I didn't even want to do anything to it, like press it. So I was like, it is what it is. It graded as a 3.5 because I read the shit out of that comic book. I mean, I really destroyed that comic book. But the thing is, and I didn't even know CGC would do this. CGC actually wrote on the label the full personalized message. Like, say, Jim Lee wrote on this comic book to this guy. Blah, 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 blah,
yeah. Oh, wow.
That's so nice. I didn't even know they did that as a service. So it's like official that Jim wrote everything on this page, right? And not just his signature. So I'm like, wow, that is so meaningful to me. Because usually the only addition that you see is saying and sketch, if they remarked it, right? So I'm like, ooh, oh my gosh. So Alpha 551 now lives on my sister's place guest wall. I keep it there because like I keep all my like childhood stuff in that room, right? Like I have like old Voltron and all this old stuff in that room. And that's what it represents to me, like this kind of key turning point in my childhood where I realized, you could be your own man. You know what I mean? You can have your own mind about things. And that lesson was taught to me by a comic book. And I want that to sink in, The comic books aren't just, fluff to act as opiate for kids. It really does teach you life lessons. And it really does teach you things that you may actually want to share with children, even if you maybe even don't think they're ready to hear the message. Eventually, they're going to remember that message and it's going to sink in, right? Comic books are such an amazing source for that. I think in some ways, there's still the most progressive outlet for communication that you can find out there and for imagination that you can find out there. And I hope that it continues in that vein. And then like titles like Ultimate X-Men by Peach Momoko evidence that for sure. Like, oh my God, it's so intense. If I had like a 9-year-old daughter, I would almost be like, I don't know if I can show her this title. But you know what? I respect my children enough to be like, I think they're old enough to hear, this, even though it's freaking about suicide and bullying. But it's something where as a comic book, that's sometimes maybe even your first exposure to a wider world and maybe even internally becoming more self-aware of how human beings tick. And those are the kind of lessons that you learn in comic books first. In some ways, it's so rebellious in nature to just say, we're going to provide this way where we can speak to you kids that your parents haven't taught you yet, that society hasn't taught you yet, but we're going to give it to you straight. So I always respect that of the best of the comic books out there. And this is definitely a story I want to share as an example of that actually being true. And so that's another reason, again, why I am a collector now at age, I'm past 50 now, but I still collect comic books and because I still find it relevant and meaningful and impactful. And the people who are still participating in it now are still doing it right. I mean, Jim Lee's the freaking president of DC Comics, now.
That's
so
very true.
Yeah, these guys are doing it right. So I will absolutely still continue to support them in whatever way I can.
Yeah, wow. I mean, like, there was a lot to unpack, but so I'm going to say thank you very much for that. That's the wrong one. I was going to give you that one. Yeah, and what a beautiful story. I mean, like that the way, like how that sort of like shaped basically your collecting journey, and basically, and you're exactly right. It goes to show, like you don't have to sort of follow the family mold. You don't have to do like to do the whole like follow the family business, so to speak. You if you've got a vision and you've got basically the stones to follow that vision through, anything's possible. And yeah, no, I mean that's a beautiful story, and thank you so much for sharing it. I'll definitely have to go back and re-listen to that again on the replay. But I mean that's the sort of thing that I'm sort of looking for, like, when it comes to shaping my kids, because like I said, my son's 5, my daughter's 3, and like I'm gradually trying to introduce them into the comic book world. Like I recently just bought the Marvel encyclopedia, the big thick thing, just trying to get him introduced to some of the characters and some of the stories, and just just see what characters and what stories they connect with, and just see what they can potentially get out of it. They might not get anything out of it. They might go something completely different. You never know. But it's just trying to provide those options.
No, that's Osman.
Like
when I or comic books, what I read is something similar to that, except it was like Greek legends and Greek myths, right?
Oh yeah.
And no, the Greek myths are a lot worse than a lot of comic books out there in terms of the plot lines, right? Like people acting very badly, and like death and destruction.
Oh yeah, death, destruction, like
desecration, like worst of the worst. And as a kid, I was like, ooh! And I remember I was in like middle school or very young kid when I read that stuff, and yeah, unfortunately, I did gravitate towards. I'm like, oh, Hercules is a badass, or Perseus. Badass, and it's just like, like as adults, like you have to realize that kids are sponges, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I don't think anything of that nature is truly AKA damaging. Like, look, I remember all those stories from when I was a kid. Like, I don't think I turned into like a psychopath because I read those stories. In fact, I'm read because early on in my life, I was like exposed to an entirely different culture, entirely different mindset, entirely different way that human nature behaved in ancient times, and what they did or did not treasure when they looked to gods or idols and stories and all that. Like I think there's only good in exposure to meaningful classic pieces of literature like that, even though like the subject matter can be worrisome sometimes for parents. I mean, that's just my impression of it. And comic books, of course, these days, I mean, some of them are just too much, right? Some of them are just too much, but some others is like, okay, this is challenging, but I'm going to trust my kids to either process it in a way that they will come out the other end just being more thoughtful as a human being, or they will reject it and they will just like forget they ever read it, and they're like, I can't believe my dad gave me this, and then whatever it is, it's going to be what it is, right? But as a parent, just throw everything at them, just see what sticks, as long as you don't think it is truly going to be harmful. And anything you can expose them to that you think is fantastical or wonderful or triggers the imagination, I think is always a positive.
Yeah, definitely. Well, right now I've got my kids into basically Spider-Man and his amazing friends, so I think that's a pretty good win.
Oh, Spidey's always a good one. I mean, we could go on another 30 years about why Spidey is such an amazing character, especially for youth, right? But I will not. I will refrain. Just know that there was a reason why Spider-Man was created, and it was to speak to the youth where there was no voice for the youth at the time. So yeah, I really do respect Steve Ditko and Stan Lee for putting that together. For Spider-Man and for the community that they were talking to. And it's especially interesting. And oh my God, I was about to go into it, but I'll just say this one real quick. Like, remember, it wasn't a Spider-Man story to begin with. It was an amazing fantasy story.
It was.
Right? And amazing fantasy back then was not a superhero genre book. It was seen as something that would just be an alternative, potentially creepy, kind of like thrill type of pulp fiction, right? And so when you see Spider-Man is very much the other with a capital O, right? He is supposed to be unnerving. He's supposed to remind you that this is not something that you can meet on the street, right? And yet, why is he so relatable? Kids back then didn't get it, but Stan and Steve, especially Steve Ditko, in the way that he drew Spider-Man back then, like the whole gangly spider kind of look, like they understood, right? They understood like the disenfranchisement of the youth at the time and how they would even more so gravitate towards the grotesque something that the conventional parent would reject at the time, as being unacceptable reading for children, and so that was its draw. Had nothing to do with clean cut Superman type of superheroism at the time. It was definitely like more of an alternative, almost indie type of title when it first came out before it got its own imprint. So I could keep on going. I'll stop. But yes, I love that character.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, like Spider-Man is definitely up there. Like right now, my kids are into Spider-Man. They recognize Captain America, Hulk, Iron Man, all the core Avengers. So that's always positive. But yeah, like just gradually, trying to introduce them. Like, I occasionally give them my tablet from time to time and say, look, these days comic books, and they have a look. They're still not quite that age where they still 100% appreciate it, but they're getting there. But just on the subject of kids, guys, I got to start wrapping up the space very, very shortly, just because my kids will eventually get up shortly and start kicking my door and demanding breakfast, because that's just what kids do. But I just want to say, John, big thank you for chilling in the space with us, and sharing those stories. It's always a pleasure to have you here. Like I always say, your knowledge in the way of comic books, collecting, anime, manga, all that sort of stuff, it just blows my mind every time I speak to you. So again, big thank you for coming and speaking, and also another big thank you to Doctor and Key Collector 98 for coming to speak as well. And also,
love your spaces.
No, thank you. And like I said, I've got about 5 to 10 minutes before I got to start closing up the space. So if anyone wants to come up and say a few words, you're more than welcome to do so. Just like this guy, we got Hinano coming up to the stage. You're coming up there now. All right, Hinano, you there, bud?
Hey, what's up, guys?
How we going?
Good. I'm just coming in on the tail end. I just wanted to thank you for the space. I know I just here only for like a half an hour or so, but yeah, enjoyed the conversation, John, and just wanted to say thank you.
Hey, from one Peach Momoko lover, I mean, actually, it's D really who's like the main within your household, but
Come on.
From one Peach Momoko lover or Jason lover to another, I am really glad to see you in the space, and I always enjoy fighting you and D for those Peach comics when we go to those I will definitely see you there this Friday. That is not a challenge. Please don't hurt me. Let me have a couple of them. And yeah, it's always a good time. Whenever I see you pop up, I'm like, okay, yeah, the part. And sometimes I'm not even kidding you. Sometimes I'm like, ooh, that's an awesome one. Wait for Hinano, wait for D, because I know they'll love it. They'll hate that they missed this one. You know what I mean? So we're always looking out for each other, especially when we know each other's preferences. And I'm glad they align so closely at least when it comes to that. And so yeah, it's always a pleasure to see you there, Hinano.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm gonna enjoy it on Friday. Fair warning, I don't have that much seed money to have fun on Friday, but I'm definitely probably gonna go for one of the mystery bags. But we'll see. Who knows? Maybe when D goes to the store, maybe I can drum up some extra cash.
Me too. If I didn't have that car towed, I'd get more than one, but I'm definitely in for one. I cannot believe my stupid car got towed. It is so stupid. Whatever. So yes, I'm in for one bag. I'm calling in right now. This is a recorded space. Hey, Key Collector, you're gonna double bag. I will buy one bag. I promise. That is earmarked. I'm gonna get that 181 FA Wolverine from you, man. Give me that Hulk 181, please. So there you go, man. Oh my God, I cannot believe he's giving that away as a buyer's giveaway. Have you ever seen such an expensive comic book being given away?
No, sir.
So crazy. So I'm looking forward to it for sure.
Yeah, same. All right, guys. Well, I gotta start wrapping up shortly, but good to hear from you guys. So good to hear from you. Hope you've been doing well. So I know there's been a lot of spaces happening lately, so it's been a bit of a slow go this time around. But it's been nice. It's been nice, chilled, nice conversation. Just sharing the collecting journey, just chilling about comics, grading systems, and all sorts of fun stuff. So if you're just tuning in now, do not fret, because like I said, it's a recorded space, and it will eventually find its way to the VeVe Collective's YouTube channel, so you can check it all back on there. But yeah, before I start closing out, Hinano, bro, how have you been? What have you been up to? What's been happening?
I've been good, dude. Super busy. I actually have guests at the house, so Going to trickle out a little bit soon, but I'm doing some content creation on the side. Yeah, there is a bunch of spaces. There's also a lot of noise in the air. So
yes, sir.
The one thing I just want to say to everybody, think with your own head, do your own research, and make your own decisions.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it. I'm doing good. If anyone knows, I'm going to be reading a comic book with Oz on Friday. I'm looking forward to that, Oz.
Yep.
And then also we do have a content creator joining us for Aloha Friday, but you guys will get the thumbnail tomorrow.
Oh, looking forward to it.
And D and I are wrestling whether we're going to do our 100th live stream this weekend, because we couldn't really do it next week Tuesday because I don't think anyone will show up, because the VeVe comic drop streams like at midnight for a lot of people. So yeah, we might do our 100th live stream this weekend. Stay tuned.
We'll have to stay tuned for that one. But before I go, Jahn, was there anything you wanted to say or leave us with before I start closing out?
Absolutely, and I'm literally doing this live time to make sure. Oh no, Hinano, I don't even know if I tell you, but at the top of this show, I was pointing people to a Peach Momoko piece, and now it's sold out. So maybe I don't want to tell you. Hold on. No, it is sold out.
Don't tell me.
That's right.
I'm not going to
save it. Yeah, save it.
awesome, but you're gonna see it later in my hands or Key's hands later. But it's so awesome. But yeah, it's gone. But maybe it'll show up in the show. You know how Key likes to buy stuff and it'll show up in the show. So you'll get a shot at it there. So and he'll probably slab it and make it look beautiful. So this piece, I'm not going to even tell you what it is. You'll be surprised when it graces your presence later. But yeah, it came and went today. Like it was like one of those pop-up shop situations. But I wanted to do you a solid, but I obviously was too little, too late to tell you. My apologies, Hinano. Like I'm making a mental note of myself after I acquire one for myself. Of course, I will give you the heads up and let you know when something special happens for Peach in particular, for sure.
Bet, got it. Thank you, and same.
Sweet. Okay, guys, I gotta start closing out because like I said, the little ones are gonna start kicking around in a minute. But I just want to say big thank you for everyone taking the time out of your busy day to come and chill in the space with us and come and listen. I know there's been a lot going on in other spaces and out in the community lately. But a lot of things going on, a lot of people blocking people, and all this other stuff happening. But that's all good. But that's what these spaces are for. They're for spaces to get away from all that sort of stuff and just get back to what's really important to people. And that's collecting, enjoying the collecting journey, and collecting with others, which is what the whole reason why I'm here in the space. Like my thoughts on what's been going on with out there in the community is just like, well, I mean, I still enjoy the product. I still enjoy collecting what I like to collect, and I still enjoy collecting with others. And to me, that's what really matters. Yes,
Hey, I just want to get a shout out to MC. I just saw that he's in the space. Good to see you, Aaron. You're sorely missed, and that's all I wanted to say.
Yeah, I was actually getting to that as well. Like, I wanted to give my collectibles a quick shout out as well. Like, see you working hard in the space. I really enjoyed the video you did with Corey and answering all the community questions and all that sort of stuff. Keep doing what you're doing, mate. I know there's a lot going on, and I know you're a busy man. I mean, I have actually sent you a few DMs on Twitter from time to time. So please check them when you're able to, because I do eventually want to get you on get to the comics at some point. So when you can fit that into your busy schedule, by all means, please get back to me. We'll make it happen. But on that note, guys, I just want to say a big thank you to everybody for listening in. I see the likes of Evolved. I just watched your video about the reaction to Chill Crazy's videos. Like, that guy. Whew. That guy is making some crazy stuff with the collectibles, and your reactions, I just loved it because it was all genuine and it was like 100% you. So very, very, very cool, mate. D, always a pleasure to have you in the space. Doctor, keep working hard on your content. Or the tracks that you're making. Yes, because some of the stuff you've been making for other creators and myself for that matter is absolutely amazing. So keep that coming. And I see like I've got Mahalo in here as well, Mark D, Smurf's dad, Poppy, and all those great people in that space. And again, big thank you to John for speaking. Big thank you to Key Collector 98, Doctor for coming up as well. Hinano, thanks for coming up and speaking as well. And I will just give a quick shout out to the VeVe Collective as well, which is our collectors group. That I just happen to be the. I mean, I am called the president, but I don't really sort of think of myself as like El Presidente or a figurehead or anything like that. I'm just a guy who just tries to make things happen, and just try and keep a positive spin on everything. But I like to take this take this part of the show to sort of give our members a quick shout out. And just in case you're unfamiliar with the VeVe Collective and what we are, basically the VeVe Collective is basically just it's a community of collectors that just want to come together to provide a space where we could just geek out, share our collections, and just connect with others, which is more or less what it's all about. And some of our members are content creators, artists, and yeah, just amazing people in the space. And if you're interested and want to get involved with the VeVe Collective, or want to join our group chat, or want to get to know a bit more about what's happening, or you can always send me a DM, and we'll get you involved with that. But a nice little shout out to our community member, to our members and their individual projects. I will start from the top. Oh, where's it gone? There it is. So we have the Real Uncommon podcast with Hinano and D. We have My Collectibles, K Collections, Evolved. So if you haven't checked out his content, it's really, really fun stuff. And also just going back to your what you posted on X about should you start doing those shorts again? Absolutely, you should start doing those shorts again, because they're just fun to do, and I always enjoy all the content you put out. He also does some good stuff out on Nifty as well. Big shout out to Josh from Collectors Gone Digital. He's recently released a video as well about what's going on in the VeVe space, and My Collectibles. I do believe Josh is also trying to get in contact with you as well. So whether that's happened or not, so I have no idea. But just to let you know, he is trying to get hold of you. Who else we got here? We got Double Quill and Chris Evers with their blogs on Go Collect and Medium. Always a fantastic read, and very, very creative artists in the space when it comes to the writing. Big shout out to VeVe Arcade as well. Kid Arcade, who does his show every Sunday. He took a little bit of him time, but I think he's getting back in the game. He also does the chill pill as well. And apparently it was his birthday a little while ago as well. So big happy birthday to you, Kid Arcade. Big shout out to DoktaStrange with all things strange with the Stack and Slack videos, and always pumps them out. It gives you a bit of insight about what's going on with the comics dropping on VeVe, which I do believe we've got one dropping today or tomorrow morning with everyone else's time, which is Daredevil number 4, I believe, which is the first appearance of the Purple Man. So that's a good one to go for, because I think the Purple Man might be coming back, because I think David Tennant had some talks about bringing the character back, but stay tuned for that. That's a conversation for another time. Big shout out to the biggest bro who backs up Kid Arcade on his Sunday show. Big shout out to Shawnee Poo as well. He's getting back in the game with his YouTube videos and covering what's going over on Cryptoys. Big shout out to Informant BE and for doing the drop streams, and also does his muzzle run as well. Always consistently covering the drops on VeVe. Big shout out to Mr. Falcon, and also I'm going to give Doobs a big shout out as well. Some of the stuff they do with the vault building and photos they do with the collectibles, really, really amazing stuff. And also Mr. Falcon also did a little tutorial video not long ago as well about what to do with your collections and how to use them in the vault, which I think is fantastic, because me personally, I'm horrible with my collections. I don't do anything with my collectibles just because I just can't do it. But after watching that, I think I posted, I learned more in that 2 minutes than I did anywhere else. So check it out if you haven't already, because that's really insightful. Big shout out to Olga MKC with MetaKitties project over on OpenSea. Big shout out to Miss Gecko as well, who also recently just had a birthday. So if you haven't, wish her a happy birthday. She hosts the Reset with Dave. Also as I think it's Bilbo and Ted's Excellent Adventures. She's all through the spaces and a really, really positive voice in the space. So a big shout out to her as well. Lovely lady. Big shout out to Casual. This guy does some fun stuff with AI. I swear to God. If you haven't heard the AI songs that he's been putting out lately for various members of the community, they are amazing. He did one for me as well, which I think I can't remember the name of it now, but it was basically Osmond and Predator gallivanting through the galaxy and having a great time. It is out there in the spaces, and it is amazing. It made me laugh my ass off. So again, big thank you to Casual as well, and also for the new profile picture as well, because he's doing the Casual chimps. So you may see them floating around as well. I see Mahalo's got one. I've got one. I think Miss Gecko's got one. There's a few other members of the community as well that got them. And if you haven't got yours already, just send him a DM and he'll hook you up with one. And of course, last but not least, say your host, Osmond Collect 63, with Get to the Comics, which I'm trying to do every Friday. We live stream. Basically, we do live comic book readings. Predominantly we do VeVe, but this Friday we got something special coming. As Hinano already said, we've got Hinano coming on, and we're going to be doing Batman, the New 52 #1, over on Candy. So we're going to be covering our first Candy digital comic. So we'll see how that goes. I mean, I haven't actually used the reader all that much, so stay tuned for that. So yeah, like I said, the little promo video I made for that's out on YouTube now. So if you haven't seen that, check that out. And yeah, so stay tuned for that, because that's going to be a fun read, and I'm really looking forward to it. And if you are interested in coming on Get to the Comics, I know there's a couple there, the listeners who have already had invites or have been on in the past already. Send us a DM and we'll get you into it. It is a really fun experience, and it's so far having a lot of positive feedback. And yeah, it's just really, really fun to do, and just try and get VeVe out there, get Candy out there, and all the other digital collectible platforms out there in the space. Oh, and on that note, I better go, because I can hear the little pitter patter of feet coming down my stairs. So again, guys, big thank you to our speakers. Big thank you to the listeners. This has been Webby Wednesdays episode 60, and we ain't slowing down anytime soon. So we'll keep going as long as everyone keeps coming back. And on that note, guys, I better get out of here. So have a good one. Take care, and we'll talk more soon.